Well, I guess that you've probably seen the Picard teaser trailer. Um, I watched it when it first came out. It's not very long. It's like a minute. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link below, and I'll describe it quickly for you. It begins with someone washing their hands outside from a water spigot somewhere, and then you see somebody taking steps in the grass, and then you see a great vineyard, and then of course it's the Picard video or teaser trailer, so you know that it's the Picard home place. We saw that in the series, and you see some robotic sprayers spraying the vineyard, and you hear a female voice as if she's talking to Picard. I don't know what to call him. He was Captain Picard, and in this teaser trailer they call him Admiral, but the series is called Picard. So she says things, the female voice says things like, "You saved us all, but was it worth it?" And then, "Why did you leave Starfleet, Admiral Picard?" So, as a huge fan of Star Trek, I have an opinion. I have an emotional investment with this series. I remember seeing the reruns as a child in the 70s. I was born when Star Trek, the original series, first came out in '65. So I grew up with Star Trek. It's my favorite franchise, equal with Stargate. So now, the first thing I need to say about this is that this series takes place in the Prime universe. It's not the original series timeline or universe, whatever you want to call it. We know this because a few months ago I read an article about the Picard series, and it said that Patrick Stewart said that this series is going to be vastly different. The Picard is going to be vastly different, and in the same article it said that it takes place after Romulus has been destroyed. Well, the Romulus was destroyed in the Prime timeline. That's the 2009 movie where Spock and Nero went back in time. Spock was in his squid type of spaceship, and then Nero was in command of the mining ship Narada, and Spock was trying to save Romulus by stopping their sun from going supernova with red matter. So anyway, the article said that this takes place after the destruction of Romulus, unless something's happened after Star Trek Nemesis. If you remember in Star Trek Nemesis, Beverly was there. In Star Trek Nemesis, Picard has to deal with a Romulan clone of him, and Romulus is there, and so is Remus. So anyway, being that it takes place in the Prime timeline, I don't know what they're going to do. You just don't know. They don't have to really adhere to too much. There was a still picture that was released or leaked, and it shows Patrick Stewart in his, I get he's all in all black, but behind him you can see a Starfleet Next Generation type uniform. It's a black. If you look at my picture on my profile for YouTube, you will see that type of uniform, except mine is red, and the one in the still picture was yellow. So I know Patrick Stewart was all on board and excited about this. So was I, until I realized that Discovery is a different timeline. And I've gotten to discussions about this with folks online. And I even looked it up according to official sources, that there is indeed 3 timelines. The original one, which went on for 50 years, and then and then we've got the Prime timeline, which is the Spock and Nero were from, and then you've got the Kelvin timeline, which Nero and Spock triggered by going back in time. So you've got 3 timelines. So the Star Trek Discovery is from the Prime timeline, I believe. They won't say. And then I guess this Picard series is from the Prime timeline. So they can do more. They have more room to mess around. You can't blame J.J. Abrams and his bad robot outfit, or necessarily secret hideout. I blame those 2 outfits for writing bad stories, but I don't blame them for being basically their hands, one hand tied behind their back. That's CBS's fault. So, what do I think about it? Well, it's not it's a teaser trailer, so there wasn't much to it. You know, it wasn't exciting. You didn't see very much. You just saw Patrick Stewart's face when the female voice asks him why he left Starfleet. Would the Picard we all know leave Starfleet? Well, I guess anything's possible, but if you remember the episode where he was taken by the Borg and assimilated, his name was Locutus. His name was Locutus. And he was rescued by the crew of the USS Enterprise. And it was very traumatizing, of course. It would be to anyone to be assimilated by the Borg. So, where did he go to recuperate, to gather his thoughts? He went back to Earth, to the home place, to the vineyard, and his brother and his wife was there, and his nephew. And you know, they did some life lesson learning, and then he went back. He went back. That's how strong this character is. How loyal and strong this character is of Picard. He went back to Starfleet even after that, even after some things happened in the Starfleet in the series. So, and in the movies too. I don't think he would leave Starfleet necessarily. He might retire from Starfleet, but this video says he left Starfleet. So, I don't know. Honestly, I'm very apprehensive. Not really apprehensive. I just don't have a lot of faith. I'm not excited. So much has happened. CBS has mishandled Star Trek so much and forced Bad Robot, Secret Hideout, Paramount to do unnecessary stupid things because of money. They want all the money to themselves from the original series, which includes all the way up to Voyager, for themselves, and Enterprise for themselves, and they made Paramount, Secret Hideout, and all them. They're any merchandise they get a cut of, but they don't want to share the original canon. or timeline. So, if you watch this channel, you know I care about a lot about Star Trek, and I think it's a shame. And here's another thing. Netflix paid for Star Trek Discovery, but Star Trek Discovery isn't available on Netflix in the United States, but everywhere else in the world. You have to get CBS All Access in the United States. And the new Picard series, you have to get CBS All Access. But, as Patrick Stewart said a couple of weeks ago, Amazon is going to be offering the Picard series everywhere in the world except the United States. I mean, why? If you ask me, that's a bunch of crap. I pay for Netflix and I pay for Amazon. Those are the two pay services that I have, and that's all I'm going to get. I might get Disney. That's it. I'm not getting CBS All Access. So, but I'm not going to get the Picard series because I live in the United States. So that pisses me off too. It's more mishandling of this franchise. It used to be on TV. They used to make their money with ads and merchandise. But they're greedy. They don't want to make something in good quality so you want to buy the merchandise. So, in the end, I am not excited about this. I'm going to keep track of it because I'm a big fan of Star Trek. Maybe one of these days they'll make something that they either admit it's a different timeline and things are different, but they're similar. Okay, but have some decent writing, because I've gotten to know the Picard character since 1988 or 87, whenever it came out, and now you're telling me, oh, this is a different one now. And I'm supposed to compartmentalize that Picard character and accept this new Picard character, and I've spent all this time and investment and a huge fan and a customer, and well, we're just going to change things. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm not excited at all. So that's my opinion. Tell me what you think, and why don't you like this video? If you're watching it, it's not going to hurt. Just like this video, because I've been told by some folks that I'm friends with on YouTube, hitting that like button really makes a difference. Or hit the dislike button. That's the same difference. So I appreciate it if you would do that, and we'll see you next video.